better find your
He
joy.
knows
When
where
you
the
know where your joy
lies.
is.
I said, don't you ever miss
That's fine.
that's
connecting
correct. With your people.
Correct. That is
he
correct.
Was like, I was wrong for that.
Okay.
He really was.
Okay.
He was like, nope.
Yeah,
I
don't do it
know
again.
where
because
my
then you
joy
have to
lies.
wait so long to get the connection again. No. We
Sometimes
don't.
you don't know it's your joy though. You don't know that that's
True.
the thing that's reviving
True.
you. So
Because
until it doesn't happen, and you're like,
and then you're depleted, and you can't
Yes!
figure out why. Yes.
That's why you need to know what your joy is and have it part
Yes.
of your ritual.
Yes. That's why you must get a joy plan.
Come on.
That's why you must
Judah.
call us. And
Are we recording? You just looking forward and talking?
we've been recording.
We've been recording on that? We've been recording on that? We've been singing. I don't believe in magic.
We typically sing.
I know, but I didn't. I'd have hammed before.
You would have given it to the people.
My face was looking at Ashley. I believe. Baby,
when he did that, I started to twirl. I was on a slow twirl.
You have to twirl. Come on. And beyond, I won't come back. Come on.
That thing was getting good. That is why I sound the way that I do today.
When that little breakdown, I can't understand that, baby. Oh, no. I can't understand that. Aye. You ain't no Houdini. Come on. You better tell Bobby Womack that too.
First of all,
he was something else.
You ain't no Houdini. I know that wasn't written down as a lyric. I know that
There's no way.
You ain't no Houdini.
I think the whole thing
that was
ad-libbed.
What?
The whole thing.
What?
Because at the end you can hear him talking. He's like, okay, I'm through. I ain't gonna. He's talking in the end. I'm through. I ain't got no more. He says that all through, like in the improv. Yeah, the whole thing.
I want you to know that thing was so.
You ain't no Houdini.
You ain't no.
Oh, I know I ain't. I can pull flowers out my hat, pull a disappearing act.
I want you to know it was so good.
It was. Bobby Womack.
It was so good.
That's good.
If you're wondering what I'm talking about, Friday evening. We ain't even started the show.
I mean, we're recording.
I'm going with
20 minutes.
I want you to. So Friday evening, I get a text message from a girlfriend. What you doing tonight? She doesn't even live in the state. So it was rainy, it was cold, it was nasty. I had just snuggled in on the sofa. And I said, you know what? I actually said this to myself. I said, hanging out with her is always such a good time. I always have a story. I'm replenished. I see her maybe twice a year. Let me go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to put on whatever I'm going to put on, and I'm going to go out in this nasty weather, and I'm going to have my evening. I did not know.
Your life was about to be changed. That the DJ was going to save your life.
That the DJ... Last night, the DJ saved my life. I want you to know...
That's a good song.
What?
Sometimes DJs will save your life. You can purge on
Kevin
that dance
and Salah
floor.
have saved me over the years.
By
like
DJ
so
Kennett.
many times.
What?
There's just
And
no way
Salah,
that
absolutely.
I want you to know that saved. Yes,
I'm talking
saved.
about purge.
I am here.
And
I am here in the physical because of DJ Kemet and DJ Salah and DJ Cheech Beats. And I mean, I could just go on forever.
We didn't want to leave. Listen, Cheech Beach gave it to you during
Baby, let me tell you,
Homecoming.
he gives it to you every time.
When he went through, now most people go through your normal kind of like rap, and there's some misogyny, you know, in your rap lyrics. No problem, we all listen to them. But when he did the female rappers. He did a whole Sweetie. I was like, I think you might be my favorite DJ.
I'm telling you,
When
these
he
people
did
have
them
given us
answer
life.
songs, he started playing Tap In. I was like, oh, come on, playing just a Megan medley. You know I love it.
I'm telling you,
woman
this
rapper.
DJ,
That's
and
my
I
favorite
must
genre.
get his name because I want to put it in writing.
Yeah, we need to know
I'm
who that
going
is.
to text. Taye must tell me who that DJ was.
We gonna tag him.
Because I'm going to tag him in this. I want you to know that Friday night at Whiskey Mistress was unparalleled. I can't even tell you when the man played Mbop.
He must not have been that young because
He was.
Is it seasoned saint?
He ain't seasoned. That's what this is what I'm saying to you.
How is he not a seasoned
This
saint?
man may have been in his 30s.
Oh wow! now.
I'm telling you.
Because music now is so racially segregated.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When we were younger, we would be like, and Wham, and Run DMC,
come
and
on.
Culture Club.
Duran.
And, you know, we didn't.
We were going all the way.
Yeah, we had all of that music played.
Yes.
Now it's like we're
correct.
either, you know, we're so
Correct.
racially divided on music.
But
I'm
you
like,
and
wow.
I appreciate still. The only thing he could have played that would have just sent me over the edge would have been Dolly Parton. if he hit.
You might have needed to go to the hospital.
I'm sorry.
You might
if
have
I had heard stumble out of bed and tumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch, try to come to life. If I heard that, I want you to know I wouldn't be here today.
No, I think you would have had to go to the hospital.
Would have had.
You'd have to go to urgent care.
I would have been.
You'd have had to go to urgent care. I don't think that you would have made it.
What?
With Dolly Parton?
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a live. If I had heard Jolene.
That had a stretcher.
Jolene.
I think you'd have needed a stretcher.
You know what though? I'm gonna tell Taye, just drop a little nugget in your DJ's ear that if he ever sees me again. We haven't even started the podcast.
Let's start the podcast.
Can you give me a clap?
Way long. You better not play this whole thing.
I bet you I will.
You better not. They're like, it's really. Who just told me that? I forgot. They were like, I love that little song. That's perfect. Like your little intro and outro song. I was like, oh, thanks. We had picked it up off the internet.
I'm doing all kinds of stuff today. You said something there, Jolene. That goes right into it. Okay, all right. Ooh, no, this is not correct because you are definitely this person.
I was like, how am I not that? You got me down as the wrong person.
So I'm Jimmy Bean.
And I'm Pollyana. Polly.
This is her time to shine, y'all.
Yes.
Look, and we are the Joy RX,
where we prescribe joy as a therapeutic tool.
Yes. So I'm going to be really honest. I had so much joy this week.
You mean to talk about it?
No. I had that was the end of my week's joy. I actually have another piece of joy for this week.
Oh.
I went to see, I have many pieces of joy, but I'm going to hold on. This one I got to talk about. So you all may not know, I have an affinity for people with Downs. I've always been drawn to them, and I couldn't figure out why. And sometimes I've thought to myself, is that problematic that I'm, looking at this population of people and just I mean I will stop and I will stay. I will
genuineness.
Oh God, I will I will follow them around. I love people with Downs, and I couldn't I couldn't quite put my finger on why it was. And I went to go see Joy John Cedric has been reminding me that this movie was coming out, Champions. And so finally I said, let's go see it together. Let's go. It's out. Let's go see it. It was such a well done movie, period. Like, I wanted to go and support anyway, but it was so well done. When I say that we were running around the theater screaming, hollering, it was that funny. It was an excellent film. But I got to the
funny.
I got to the final scene of the movie, and this is what I discovered. I said, I know why I love them. Their attitude and mindset.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get down easily, but when they do, they quickly come out of
Quick
that thing.
recovery.
1, 2, they celebrate the smallest victories. Look at Johnny, he tied his shoe.
A flower, just any.
Yeah, but Johnny is 20. We've been waiting 20 years, and Johnny tied his shoe. When I tell you, and it's such a genuine celebration, and I thought to myself, if all of us approached like
had that kind of forgiveness, just turn the page.
You know what? They're so literal.
Whatever happened, we're just going to turn the page.
They're so literal. And so when they're upset, they tell you directly, I'm mad and
like
you
that.
made me mad
I don't
when
like
you
when you
did
do
this. And then you apologize and they say, it's okay, I love you. And
Page turned.
Done. When I say, if you get a chance, I
We holding
promise
on to
you,
stuff for 20 years.
go and see this movie. When this boy told Woody Harrelson, hey, they call me the homie with the extra chromie.
Ma'am.
I want you to know I lost it. I lost it.
Not the homie with the
homie
extra
with the
chrome.
extra chromie. Anyway, that was my joy.
Knock you out.
That
I'm going to knock you out.
was my joy for this week. What was your joy?
My joy for this week is celebrating our friends' birthdays in New Orleans. All of our crew is we're not Southern. I don't like none of us, right? So all of us are from New York and Detroit, and we're all just kind of we love Southern culture, Southern food, and getting exposed to it, even though we live in Atlanta. So we love New Orleans because there's just no better place, of course, to eat or listen to music on earth, especially at least in this country. And we just had a good time. We went and had a good time, and I think what was great about it is that many people go to that city and do kind of classic tourist things. Like we didn't go to Bourbon Street at all. No shade on Bourbon Street, but we didn't. We didn't go.
We didn't.
But we did. We just did a number of great things. So like a great band and like second line, like
we went on neighborhood, Sweet Street. We were like out there with the freestyle rapper just for like an
the
hour.
Talent that people just walk around with. I was like, some people just from this city, like just talented.
Yeah.
When you about 7, you just get a trombone for Christmas.
We ate food that was sinful.
Everybody.
We collectively gained 50 pounds over that weekend.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I put my 7 in. I put my 7 in real good. Real good.
Listen, we did the damn thing.
Come on.
Did New Orleans.
Just some balls of pancake. Just a pancake ball. Just a ball of pancake that you dip it.
I'm sorry. We went to, shout out to Giacomo's. We went to Giacomo's Thursday night, and I just mentioned, I said to the waitress, what are boudin balls? What are they? And she described them to me. Our waiter came back 5 minutes later with a free plate. She said, you must try them.
Put it in your mouth.
She said, you must. Don't play with me. Are you flirting right now? Like, did you want me to take you out on a date after this? I'll take you home tonight. Don't play with me.
Oh, anybody offering food. I think that's the way.
Giving me random food just because I mentioned it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you holler.
I'll take you to heaven.
That's how you holler. I don't understand why people do all these other things. You know what I'm saying? Show
Send
up
me
with
over
a
plate.
fiddle. Yeah.
With a fiddle.
Yeah. Can I eat it? I don't, you know what I'm saying? That poetry was lovely. Can I eat that? Is it a po' boy?
Ooh. Oh, there were so many. When we stopped at Cafe Du Monde and got them beignets, and then the way that the sugar was just all over the floor.
Saved my life though. When I came
The table.
when I ate those, I don't think I was moaning. You ever eat food and moan?
And just be like, oh God.
That's fine. When we get to savoring, that's a whole.
We're gonna eat a whole meal and just let you all watch how we do that thing. That's fine.
You have to.
You think we're playing?
Savor the good food.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that was my joy for the week, to be able to celebrate friends, to just kind of, to just have a good time. We weren't working.
We did not pull
that
out.
was really important.
That was really good.
To not be working.
I got
almost
to finish
anything. We
my
could have just sat.
700-page book that I was obsessed
and
with.
we weren't like kicking it even the whole time. Sometimes we just were just sleeping. I mean, there were nights we were just like, are we in the bed? It's 9:00. I mean, like,
and it was fine.
It was
as a
perfectly
collective.
wonderful,
It was fine.
because
that's the other thing I appreciate about our crew is
that
that nobody is going to judge you if you're saying, I kind of want to sleep in a little bit longer. I want to do whatever. I mean, it was announced at the top of the trip. No judgment on this trip.
Everybody
Whatever
have
happens,
the vacation
everybody
that you want. That's who you vacation with.
The birthday girl herself said, I want everybody to get what they need from this trip. Said that.
Mm-hmm. And we did.
Okay. All right. So.
It was great.
It was excellent. It really was.
It was great. So we are continuing our series on attitude and mindset.
Yes. Attitude and mindset is the set of ways you choose to think and feel about things and how it is reflected and manifested in your personality. It is about how one's worldview manifests in one's personality and behavior. Mm-hmm. So last week we talked about developing mindsets, like how they can develop from your life experiences, and they can shape your own negative mindsets if you don't do the work to correct that.
Mm-hmm. So this week we're going to focus on attitude only, right? That's the performance aspect of this, right? There's
good.
The decision-making part, which is extremely important. We were talking about how much that is. I know that sounds like, why would that be 95%? Because it is. Like most of your behavior happens in here first. That's why you have to be careful about what you're thinking about. That's why you have to be careful about what you call forth and be careful of your words, because that's most of your experience.
Yep.
Whatever you think you've experienced out here, most of it happened in here, right? So we're talking about now that other part, right? That part about how you react, to the world, the external part, right? What is manifested in your personality? What are you physically doing? What are the things that other people can see? Remember, most of what's happening with you, other people can't see, which is why lying is a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Because your turmoil, 95% of it is in here, right? So that's why you can get away with telling people.
You ain't going to start getting this deep this early.
I'm sorry.
We got to lead up into you going to start here? Where do we go?
Yes.
Okay.
So your attitudes can be positive, they can be negative, or they can be uncertain.
Yes.
Right? They can be uncertain. And I think we're okay with uncertainty. We could do a whole thing on that. Because I think what most people are not okay with being uncertain. They're not okay with not knowing.
That might be something that
that's like a whole thing, right?
Remember that.
I need it to be this or this. It's black or white. Like,
it's black or white. Yeah.
You got to do a little hair turn and turn into someone else.
We're not going to do this to you all again. We did it last.
Yes, we are. Tourette's doesn't stop.
I don't care. I love it.
I love it.
Okay.
So it is, because we're ruled by that conscious mind, it's the 5%, right? That your 95% mindset sets into motion, right? That's the that's the performance, right? It's determined by watching actions. Yes. And of course, attitudes can be feigned. They can be faked because, most of that stuff is internal and people can't see it. So you're at something like, I love it here. Or you are.
But you're cringing.
Right. But that we all know that dissonance is going to get you, in the end when your mindset and your attitude are at odds.
Yes.
You can only stay. I mean, that's just not a healthy place to stay in.
Yeah. So we talked a couple of episodes back about get clear about your attitudes. Some of y'all are out here thinking that you present in a particular way.
See, you're already going there. I'm about to do a spit take. When people,
sweetie,
people really think. I love when people give themselves you know how humble I am. I'm just so humble. Oh, I'm so generous and kind. I mean, you know me. I'm a sweetheart. I'm so nice. You look at them like,
and that's what you got to look for when people start when people start being like, you start describing yourself, and they be like,
or they're going. They have you don't get no Ashe.
That's the one. That's
no
the one.
Ashe.
That's the one.
When did you start thinking that was your strength?
Or they respond with the okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
They don't yell right out with you like, girl, yes, that's you. It's just.
I'm telling you, I've tried it and I know. Just be out here singing your own praises for something that everybody else like.
And the opposite is true too. I think people disparage themselves.
I'm just so
and no one
unattractive
else,
and nobody will ever love me.
I'm sorry, who are we talking about again? Because I'm trying to figure out who we're talking about.
Everybody here loves you.
Everybody loves you.
What?
You can't even get from here to there without the people that love you, cutting, interceding your life. Like, what do you mean? So that make both things.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
So no,
just thought that was
going good. Listen, so we're talking about attitude. So again, this is the presentation of your thoughts, right? So one of the things you got to stop doing is comparing yourself out loud to other people and showing evidence of that.
That's so good.
Listen, we are all here. We are all unique. We are all different. We're all weird. Every single one of us. There's anybody and you think like they are the blueprint and I just wish I could be. They're weird too.
And they're somewhere focusing on that weirdness just like you're focusing on yours.
And guess what? We should be. There's room for all of this. So this idea that you have to measure up against other people, let's set that down. But let's really make sure that we don't do it out loud and we don't announce to people that this is what we're doing. I'm not as good as Tamika. I'm not as kind as Sherelle. I am not.
Because once you claim that thing, I'm trying to tell you, you have now set up, you have so much work to undo. You have to, you actually build your building blocks. That's what we do. That's what we're doing as joy coaches when people, come to us through a joy plan. We're giving them the tools to kind of build. What are you going to build? Something awesome? Or are you going to build something, that is comparing and making you feel terrible? Be careful what you build. You build things with your mouth.
Ooh.
You build things with what you claim.
It's that whole thing of like your thoughts become your words, become your actions. That's all it is. Your mindset becomes your attitude. So it's got to start here, but definitely by the time it gets here, filter that thing. Stop it. When you're in the moment and you see you're about to do it, you got to catch it. The other piece to that is you got to develop your own set of standards of what good character is.
You got to ask yourself, what do I think? What do I think?
No one else's measuring stick matters. It just doesn't. Develop your own healthy set of what a standard is for how I want to behave. I thought about, I've traditionally, historically, always worked in urban school settings. And I come across children that do things that when I was a teacher in the classroom, I would say to them, where does this work?
They're trying it out.
Where does it work where you throw this temper tantrum in the middle of a floor and people give you what you want?
Yeah, does it do anything for you?
Why have you? But what I'm realizing is that is their standard that they've set for them. This is okay. Nobody is going to go wildly outside of their own set of standards. That's why when people say, like, I was just beside myself, that's so unlike me. No, that was you.
No, that was you.
No, you
That
absolutely
was
were
another
okay
part
with
of
that.
yourself. Yeah, we all have different.
We may not see it every day, but it was you.
Unless we need an exorcist.
Well, who was it then if it
Who was
wasn't
it?
you?
It sure looked like you, and you responded when I called your name.
I call your name, girl.
And it eases the pain.
Take the way that's train. Yeah, I that whole idea of that just it is.
Sickness.
It's a gift.
It's tick
It's
disorder.
not a sickness. It's a
tick
gift.
disorder. That's good. Tick disorder is a
It's a gift.
gift.
We're giving it to the people.
No, that's good. I mean, I think that's what you have to do too when you're experiencing something. What is my measure? And that, again, that could go either way. Somebody might think that something that you're doing, you feel like that's mediocre and they're celebrating. You might be like, no, for me though, my standard is a little bit higher,
Yeah.
and I'm going to press myself to go a little bit further than that. Or you might, somebody might say, well, they're critiquing how you're living, whatever that is. And I know I talk about relationships a lot because that's a big deal. That's a lot of what people come into therapy about. And there's so many times I see so many women, especially, I guess I got to be out here. I got to try to find somebody. Why? Do
Right.
you want that? Or
Right.
has society told you?
Is that your standard?
That
or
you
is that
know what I
everyone
mean?
else's? Yeah.
Society is telling people, now, if you single, something wrong with you. And they're like, well, I'm happy. Oh, that sounds good then.
Are you happy when you're in these relationships that are painful?
Yeah, you're like on the floor crying the
Okay.
entire time. And I'm trying to
right.
figure out why you clamoring to get back into that.
Clamoring.
But I'm, again, not that they can't be happy, but that's just an example of
Yeah.
them not using their own measuring stick, right? Use your own, like, what do you think in terms of your own standard? And that then it becomes easier for your friends and your circle, that we talked about in connection and belonging, to hold you accountable to it because
Yes.
they know what your standard is. They don't know what the standard is. How can I hold you to it?
But here's the
what are you
thing,
trying to
too.
do?
If you're at a place where you don't trust your standard, if you say, I've been out here wilding,
By
this
my
is
own
not
definition
okay.
of
By
wild.
my own definition, this is not okay. Then get around some people with the positive attitude
Yes.
that you want to see. Listen, it's so you're not going to give me the hi-hat. It's so true when they say the whole thing about, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah. Yeah. Get around some people, who gonna have some joy.
All the damn time.
Get around some people who are like, listen, and if I don't have joy, I'm gonna fight for it. I'm gonna support your joy. I like when you have it. I'm not hating when you have joy. Right? These are the people that you even will learn more about yourself in those circles. You don't learn as much about yourself when you're around kind of the negative attitude people.
It's
How can
so
you?
true.
How can you grow and understand? Well, this is what I need to
In
take
anything
myself
you
to
want
another
to
place.
be, though, if you want to be more financially stable, get around people that make money.
Uh-oh.
If you want to be healed, get around healed people.
People who work toward healing. Not
People
wallow.
who work towards that, whatever it is that you want to be.
Very true.
Get around it.
Get around it.
Build a space for it
Yeah.
in your life.
Which is different than comparing. Right? Very, very important to note. That's different than I'm from the outside looking in and I'm comparing myself. Get up next to it if you admire it. And grow together.
Get up onto that thing.
Come on, get up under that thing.
Hey. It's definitely an affliction at this point.
It's something.
It's fine,
something.
though.
We can't stop it. I don't know if we want to. I don't know if we want to
I'm
stop
telling
it.
you. I'm so excited. I just can't hide
You
it.
got me burning up.
Oh.
Ow. Burning up. Hey.
Okay. All right. We're going back in.
Going on. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself physically. Take care of yourself emotionally. Take care of yourself financially. Take care of yourself sexually. I said it. I said it on this here Wednesday
no,
morning.
you didn't just say it. You meant
Announced
it.
I hollered it. So what does that mean? I do think that sometimes you need some help with this, right? Because again, that's another place where you might be like, I take care of myself physically. Like, when I take vitamins, that's what all the water I drink. Those 2 sips, that's the water. That's your water intake. That's it.
But you wake up in chronic pain every single morning.
Why am I so stiff? Yeah. Why does my skin look right? And I think there's. She really taught me this. I remember years ago. You and I keep your little morsels.
You do, and you be giving them back to me when I need them. I love it.
I do. I remember her telling me. She said, "There's always time for beauty." I was like, I just be going outside. This is me getting ready in the morning.
Good word.
Makeup is done. Out. And I remember her being like, we're going to talk about makeup and stuff. She was like, it's always time, for beauty. And I find that when I take a minute and use all my little products, and whatnot at night to do when I'm just washing my face, I really do feel better.
You do.
I am. Take time
for beauty
to honor your physical. Take time. Stop. If you have an extra 15 minutes, instead of doom scrolling, on social media, go for a walk. You know what that's going to do for you that's different from looking at people complaining on
Go
Twitter?
prepare the ingredients for dinner tonight.
Yes, so then you're not just snatching something from out the drive-through. You know what I mean? Like, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself emotionally. If you are feeling more negative than positive emotions, it's time for a shift. Look for something to do about that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, this is part of what we offer to people. We're going to, we take people through figuring out how to really heal those spots so you can feel good most of the time.
Yeah. That financial thing, taking care of yourself financially. Listen, let me tell you something. We will talk ourselves into a poor decision quickly. Because we're thinking of the immediate gratification. We're not thinking all the way down the line, right? Which this can be true for financially and sexually taking care of our.
Come on.
Because we start thinking of this moment and we don't think of the fact,
we don't think about what this brings for me. And what are my goals?
It's real cold when this heat gets turned off. If I don't, if I buy these shoes, And
sometimes it's just kind of, we talked about last week about, kind of deciding upon and spending time in your joy. And we just traveled, and I say that to my friends. That's where my money gets spent. You know what I mean? My money gets spent on travel, but it doesn't get spent in some other places, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't spend money on doing here, but I do spend it in there. That's me taking care of my emotions, but also taking care of my finances.
Exactly.
I can't be my fancy traveling self if I also am going to spend lots of money in some other places. But get rid of that debt. Look for a way. Try not to get in it, college students.
Please try not to get into it.
Try not to get in it. College students. Try not to get into it. 55-year-olds. And you just like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to put it on layaway for the rest of my life.
I am telling you, the feeling of being debt-free, you cannot, to not owe anybody. Listen, for this birthday,
your money did not be all tied up.
I paid off all debt. That was the gift that was given to me.
When I tell you that the freedom that you have from that.
Cannot explain.
I don't even like that sentence. People be like, my money's tied up. Just right there, I'd be like,
My money ain't.
It's tied up in.
That thing feels real good. You don't even know because you ain't there yet.
Yeah.
You don't even know how good it feels. Take care of yourself.
But you got to take care of yourself there. That also means, again, these are the things we walk people through. We walk people through. See, I know you love Starbucks, but you spending $100 a month on Starbucks.
Easily.
It sounds small, but you got to have the outside eyes. That Starbucks, you think it's bringing your joy. Buy the little packets and stuff at home. That you're decreasing your joy. You could go on a vacation.
That is
huge
correct.
one in a few months if we can cut down that Starbucks. You know what I mean? Which it's not necessarily supporting your physical anyway. Right?
Right.
So your inner dialogue, we talked about how your inner dialogue becomes your external behavior. So we have to be careful. That's a psychological taking care of yourself point, right? Make sure that your inner dialogue is something that if someone else heard it, you wouldn't be embarrassed. You would say it to a child. Would you say to a child the things you say to yourself? Right? Be careful about that.
You have given me a word. Would other people check me if they heard my internal
dialogue. That's how you know you might be getting down a negative
Think
path.
of the people in your, you know what? Let me tell you just as simple as what you just said. I can easily talk myself into going to Starbucks. Easily, right? I have to think about my internal dialogue. When I make the decision and I tell myself that I am going there, I need to think. Cobla would tell me, that's not what you want right now. That's not what you need. You don't need this Starbucks. No, ma'am. Turn around. That's what I got to start doing. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That was it right there.
If you don't feel cared for, it's hard to care for others in the world, right? And it starts with yourself, right? If you don't feel, we talked, earlier on in the podcast, we talked about feeling considered, feeling comforted, feeling cared for. You've got to do that for yourself. It's going to be very difficult for you to provide in other places.
Absolutely.
We have jobs that are extremely giving. We pour out onto other people. That's the nature of being a psychologist
and rarely get things back other than the money.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't get it back in the moment. Nobody just right then. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm someone. Right then. Yeah. It comes. It would. If people become great, it's later.
Sometimes months and years.
Right, or you might not see it at all. Which means we've got to give our own, we've got to give unto ourselves, right? The reinforcement has to come for us. You cannot pour out of an empty cup. You've got to be able to refill your own cup so that you're even good to be a parent, to be a spouse, to work at your job and really give and be impactful in the spaces in which you move. Right? That means you have to find what fulfills you and do it regularly, not once in a while.
Every day of your living life, the same way that you come home and you cook for a family of others. What did you do for yourself? It's
got to become a habit. I'm assuming that most of us do not leave the house without brushing our teeth, right? You're going to do it.
We hope.
Right? You're going to do that. What is the thing that you're going to do with that kind of commitment, with that kind of consistency? What's going to be my showering?
Ooh,
you know what I mean? What's the thing that I'm guaranteed
second nature like that,
to do for myself? You have to find out what that is, and you've got to put that into your daily regimen.
And let me tell you why you need it daily. Because it's too late once you've run out of steam.
Yeah. When you're in crisis mode.
And you're doing it from a state of
just
dearth.
Scramble climb.
Don't do that. You got to be giving yourself little nuggets along the way. Because that's what's going to keep you in those moments when you get jolted and then you're like, okay, I'm all right.
Right.
I'm okay.
And remember, we're talking about behaviorally. Like, no, just think about it. We're not talking about think about it. I'm talking about do it. I said before that my ritual is laughter, right? I laugh till painful tears every 24 hours, and I'm not joking.
24 minutes.
Don't slip. Yeah. More than that. So if I just have an insanely busy day, I will insert it in there somewhere. I'm not going a day without hearty laughter. I don't care I don't care what I did in the day. I don't care how sad I was. I don't care what happened.
We talk about joy plans. We have our own joy plans. Yep. She is on my joy plan. I have to have access to her. If I go too long and we haven't sent a Marco Polo, I'd be like,
I'm itching.
I'm
scratching.
What are you doing?
I need something.
I got to get in her schedule.
I need a little taste.
just a tiny bit. Just give me a little.
I'm off.
I'm on it.
I'm off.
Listen.
And it don't matter what she's talking about. I don't care.
It doesn't.
She can talk about being these math coaches. That's not talking about the math coaches. I need to hear it.
I'm driving in between schools and I'd be like, let me tell you something. I do all of that because I need that. If I don't get it, I know that I start feeling, something feels off. I don't like that. Figure out what you need and don't wait until it's gone, it's depleted, it's at negative reserve before you start giving it to yourself, so that you can always be in a place where your attitude looks like you're in a good space.
Yeah.
So next thing, this is a big one, y'all. Build up your self-confidence and look like it. Let me tell you something. There's something to be said about fake it till you make it. If you're not quite there, I'm telling you, even faking it till you make it can go a long way.
You know, biologically, that literally smiling at yourself in the mirror actually does, it literally just smile. I'm saying in the midst of tears sometimes, and it sounds so fake, right? I'm telling you, biologically,
It does something for you.
Sit there and smile a bit.
Yeah.
It does do a little something for you.
Yep.
Right? Press it.
You know what it is? We go out every single day and we announce to other people how amazing they are. Mm-hmm. We are each other's cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't we also be our own? Mm-hmm. So I know it sounds frou-frou, but you should wake up in the morning and you should tell yourself, I'm proud of you because you did whatever the thing is. Write yourself love notes.
Listen, and really mean it.
And put them around the house.
That got me out of a really tough time, writing myself love notes. I put them all around. I put all of these Post-it notes around, and they were like in the bathroom and stuff like that. I really want you. I got out of a really tough, low time by doing that.
Because here's the thing. Our internal dialogue, we spend so much of it belittling ourselves.
Questioning our choices. You know?
Saying, oh, I wish I would have done
critiquing
something.
our actions.
All of that. Put the same effort into shouting yourself out. I'm amazing.
But it's got to be part of your something. We decided
awesome.
some time ago that, we weren't going to wait on people to celebrate us for Mother's Day.
Ooh, we said that.
We said that.
We announced that
cheers.
thing.
In fact, cheers.
Salud.
In fact, cheers. Okay. Listen, we took ourselves to the spa. Nobody took us. Nobody sent us anything.
Listen, because if you look at these children that we've raised, we have earned these accolades.
Absolutely.
I want you to listen. My child will be 23 years old this week. I was 23 when I had her and didn't know what I was doing. This beautiful creature here, that I did that.
You deserve a day.
I deserve a day.
You deserve a day. And that's really, but again, this is not, we're thinking about it. Do it.
I'm not going to talk about it.
I'm going to do something for myself on Mother's Day.
I
buy myself a gift for my birthday.
To Mexico because I put in this hard work. I deserve.
At Christmas too, actually. At Christmas time, I buy myself something.
That's
and my birthday, I buy myself. I'm in the
good.
midst of buying all these gifts. And I'm getting myself something too. I sure am.
Put in equal effort to
I might start rapping
yourself.
I might rap it next time.
And hide it from yourself. You just go, oh my God, I got this.
Open it up with take pictures with it.
Look what I got. Y'all putting it on the
Who
socials.
gave you that? Kanika Bell. Tag myself. Thank you, Kanika Bell. Tag myself in it.
I'm about to do it.
Look what she got me. Who, me? She knows me so well. I mean, God, she knew it was
look
my
at how that
color
girl
and
takes
everything.
care of
that
me.
Girl was looking out for
Look,
her sister.
get you a you.
Get you a you. Okay? Take yourself to dinner at times. These things really do build your confidence. I know you're
really
like, how
do.
does that relate to building your confidence?
They really do.
Your celebration of yourself boosts your own self-image.
It keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
And that when we talk about when you get to those places where you feel depleted, you don't get there.
Yeah.
If you're regularly doing stuff to you've regularly got stuff to look forward to that you did for you. Then you don't get to this place in the valley. Come on, this is a word now.
That's a word. And get help, when you need it. And you know why I think asking for help is actually a sign of self-confidence. We have convinced ourselves that asking for help is a sign of weakness. It's the opposite.
That's good. That's
because
so good.
people who are not asking for help is because you're embarrassed about whatever's happening. When the confidence is high, come on in and see what I've been working on.
I
Elevate
want somebody, yes. I want somebody to tweak it and get out the rough spots. I want us to really make this thing amazing.
Come in here
I've
and
already
look
done
at it.
all this work. I want you to come and just set it on another additional
Not
path.
asking for wisdom and not asking for help is a sign that you lack confidence in the thing that you are pursuing. You know why you didn't ask anybody to read that
Let me tell
paper
you
before
something.
you handed it in? You didn't like it.
You said something
You thought it wasn't
so good last week. You were talking about how there were times that you would not tell people what you were doing because you were so embarrassed by it, right? And so you, which is a form of lying. It's right.
It's lying.
Omission is lying.
It's
right?
lying.
And that's the thing, is that when you're confident in what it is you're building, even if it's not at perfection, even if it's not its most thorough, when you ask somebody, when you pull somebody along and you say, come help me make this better, it's because you are proud of the work you've already done. And now I need somebody to push me just a little bit further. That's so good.
Yeah. You're proud of who you might become.
That's so good. And so that moves us right on into the next thing.
Please believe in yourself. I know that sounds
When you believe
within your heart,
you know. Listen.
Come on, Lena.
Lena Horne, the incomparable.
The really crazy part is you were out here trying to get people to believe in you. You don't believe in you. You want somebody to taste my food. I don't like it. Why? Come get with and in this body that I don't take care of.
Okay. You hurting some feelings now. You better stop talking because we are going there.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
How dare we ask somebody else?
Do you like it? Do you believe it? Do you think this thing that you are asking people to give money toward or spend their time on, whatever it is, do you believe in it?
Do you find it worthy?
Do you find it worthy?
Okay. That's a good word.
This whole thing is us doing that. This whole Joy RX thing is us doing that.
We
believe in it. We said, listen, if only two people grow in this success, if it's just me and her,
salute,
just me and you, get something from this endeavor. Worth
we
it
gonna
still.
come out better, and we've already been made better.
I believe in this.
We've already been made better. We what, like 11 weeks in, we have already been made better.
Higher.
Look, higher, 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 higher.
Why do you know stuff?
I know exactly what is. I forgot about that. Higher, 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 higher. Take self-love higher. Lower, 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 lower. Take self-judgment lower. Listen.
I'm crying. See, I told you. And I've completed my task.
Shout out to First Iconium Church.
Come on. Listen, let bless Reverend Timothy McDonald right in this moment.
He's somewhere in jail right now because he's fighting for somebody's rights.
Fighting for somebody's rights.
Ooh,
listen, come on.
Good.
He's real good.
Okay.
Pastor and our civil rights
leads us right into the next one.
Believe in yourself.
Laugh often.
You know what's funny about that too? Sometimes you just have to laugh at a situation too.
Sometimes it's so ridiculous that I can't do nothing but just holler.
It seems like, again, we get accused at times of not taking things seriously. But I mean, when something like that happens, what are you going to do? I want you to know that I poured 32 just ounces of water on this laptop today.
32 entire ones.
Because I've been trying to drink my water. I poured the whole thing.
That's
whole thing spilled on my clothes, on the laptop, on my hardwood floors. And I'm just like, I couldn't do anything, but what am I going to do? I could curse. I could demonstrate to my daughter that frustration should break you.
Is it going to get me out of this?
I didn't.
Is the water still on the laptop after I've gone off on somebody? Okay, well then.
Or I could wipe the water off and just pray that it came on, and it did. Yay!
Do I need to put it in a bag of rice? Like I can't focus on what it is I got to do if I'm so caught up in right.
So that sometimes you just have to laugh at that thing. You just have to laugh at it. Becoming just infuriated. There are times to be angry now. There are times to say, now we got to fight for this. But a lot of things, a lot of things in our individual
Throw laughter at it.
lives, put some laughter on it.
Yeah. Let's put some laughter.
Sprinkle it on there.
Throw some laughter on it.
Throw some laughter on it. Throw some L's on it.
Like we throwing D's on it. That's a
Put some
throw
laughter
some joy on it.
Yeah. Difficult situations, sometimes you have to laugh yourself through. I say this to
have
couples
to.
all the time, right? When you're in people in couple therapy, that's just everything. You didn't take out the garbage. We just gonna go in. We gonna just cry. We gonna
Because here's
beat
the
this
thing,
man.
there are
or we
times
just gonna
when-
laugh at how he slid that little garbage on top. You know, how people don't take it out; they just slide on top. Sometimes you have to be like, really, dude. Come on.
But here's the thing.
Let's just laugh at it.
Sometimes crying at a thing does make it better. Sometimes we do need that release. But if it doesn't, if I could replace it with laughter, go on ahead and choose that one.
Some stuff is, I've laughed and cried at the same time so many times. Because the crying is first, right? Because whatever the thing is, you respond
laugh
to.
in the middle, snot,
right? And you kind of like, oh
running
my
down your
gosh,
face.
right? And then, shout out to I won't say her name because I don't know if everybody knows what's happening with her, but one of my favorite people who works with me is enduring a bit of a health crisis, right? And so I was just terrified. And she's trying to work. She's texting from the ICU like, I need to cover so and so. I had to find that funny. I was like, first of all, why are you so crazy? She was laughing. She was texting like her joy has not plummeted. She just in the hospital saying funny stuff like, girl, I'm up in here just
That's good.
What are you? You do that too. Girl, I need some real food in here. Bring me some. Sneak it in. What?
Listen, I was in the hospital having a good time. People waiting on me. Shit, come on up in here and bring me that Jello.
I come in and nurses are gathered. I hear the cackling outside.
Yeah.
I'm coming down the hallway and hear all this cackling. I said, well, I guess she's okay.
Yeah.
She's alive.
I'm alive.
Nurses just they don't want to leave because you funny.
All my nurses.
I said, there's probably other patients. It's like 3 of y'all in here. That's your friend. I can tell that's your friend.
I want you to know that my child and the nurse had to come in and talk to us because I was laying in a hospital bed and we were screaming, hollering, laughing, watching a television show in the hospital. Listen. I got to have joy wherever I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight for it.
It heals.
It does.
I really want people to know that's not a joke when people say laughter is the best medicine. It
really is.
literally heals. I don't know why we don't have laughter clinics.
Scientifically.
We should have like a whole, we really
Maybe
should.
that's
We have
what we'll
pain
develop
clinics.
through the Joy RX.
We should have, people should just have like laughter workshops. You ever laugh so hard, you feel like your ab muscles have been, you feel like you've exercised. You almost need a nap.
We do this to each other often.
Just screaming.
I could run down a list of times that
It's always so.
yesterday. Yeah.
But it's so cleansing, and you won't spend time. You will spend less time in the negative when you kind of
Can't frown if you're laughing. It's impossible.
That laughing and crying at the same time is funny. Actively crying, like, I can't believe he just go. But you know what I'm saying? At least I'm free from the joke. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real thing, y'all. If you ain't never been there, keep
If you
living.
ain't laughing and crying at the same time, I'm not sure you've lived.
Let me get to this final one. I had a moment this week that I really need to just get off my chest. Permit yourself to be loved. And I don't know that you do realize that in order for people to love you, you have to allow it. We do things to keep people out. And it's become so ingrained in who we are that we don't even realize that this is what we're doing. I had a friend, I've loved her for many years. She has mentored me through things. She's going through a real rough spot. I know that she's going through a real rough spot. But She had some trouble a while ago. Her car had broken down. She was in a totally different state. And I said, I'll come get you. I'll drive 3 hours and I'll come get you. Don't worry about it. You ain't got no other way to get home.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go get you. And later on, some things happened. And I spoke with her. I've said this before. I am the friend that will hold you accountable. I am the friend that will call you out on your stuff. That's just who I am, right? And I always do it from a place of love.
But baby, you be on that ride or die.
Listen.
With that situation you talking about, I was like,
listen, I'm always coming.
Well, like Cleo in set. I have your entire back.
Yes.
And your front.
Yes. Right. And for some people, that's a lot, right? And so this sister said to me, she was sending me a text. It was a very heartfelt text. And she was saying to me, you know, I have to admit that I have been distancing myself from you because I didn't even know if you cared about me. Let me tell you something I know about myself. If you loved by me, you know it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I love you, I know if I don't do nothing else, I love hard.
But if she is not, if her purview
she can't
is
see
tainted,
it.
She's not going to see it.
Right. And so what I thought to myself is, one, that hurt my feelings. But then I thought to myself about it. I took a couple of days and I said, you know what, though? She's not even in a place where she's allowing herself to be loved. Love is all around her. You had a friend who drove to another state to come get you on a Thursday afternoon with no provocation. You didn't call and ask if they were available. They just heard your story and was like, girl, I'll come get you.
Yeah.
You are loved and you don't even know it. Listen, how many places are we doing this in our lives, y'all? Announcing to people, but don't nobody love me.
And people are just showering how much they value you.
What?
Now, it may not be the person that you wanted from.
In the moment, you wanted it.
It may not, you may not think yourself worthy, so you don't see it. You know, we can miss winning an award if we don't think we earned it.
Ooh.
We could just miss it entirely. Somebody trying to give you a Tony and you just like, what's that?
No, I just don't. I don't think I did enough work to.
You must have left this here. No, it has your name on it.
You've sabotaged your whole self.
I think that sabotaging goes really far. I really think a friend asked me not too long ago, like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that when someone sabotages a thing? It starts to feel good. You start to feel like someone cares for you and values you, and you actually kind of tank it. You know what I'm saying? What is it?
That started back in your mindset where you told yourself you were unworthy.
Yep. How could that be?
You're here. You're
How
worthy.
could that be?
That's it. Like, stop it, y'all. Stop it.
I had a weird dream. This is a weird tangent.
Tell me about
but
you.
I had a weird dream that Oprah watched the podcast.
That's not a weird dream. You were actually forecasting. Go on.
The reason why I'm bringing that up is we, of course, were like, oh my gosh, Oprah. And still, even in the dream, we were like, but I mean, it's still a thing. We didn't think we weren't worthy of Oprah Winfrey. Like at her, you know, as she's
I'm waiting for Oprah.
Right?
I'm waiting for Tyler Perry. I'm waiting for Puffy.
Right?
I'm waiting for whoever's going to see
in
this.
The dream, that was the notable part. Was that it was how we respond. Of course, we were like, but we weren't like, no, that couldn't mean us. But you must be talking about somebody else. We didn't act like that.
You talking about us?
We were like, let's just get ourselves together so we can have a good pitch for Oprah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was that
We
really
were
was kind of the end of the dream. But I mean, that's the notable part of it.
Yep.
That we saw ourselves as lovable. You know what I'm saying? And we believe when
As
someone
worthy of
else,
it.
someone of that magnitude, you know, that to love it and love us, we thought, yeah.
You know why? Because we just are open to the possibility of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not true right now. Open yourself. We've been talking about relationships a lot lately. We've been talking about our own relationships romantic relationships that we've been having and leaving and setting down and talk about that later. But
Reforming and
but here's the thing that I have always said, and I believe this for both of us. We are deserving of the greatest love ever. Because we already have so many examples of it. We have it here. We have it with our daughters.
Parents.
We have it with our parents. We are deserving of it everywhere. There's no way that I'm going to have all this radical, amazing love in my life, and then I'm going to settle for something less.
I was going to say that sentence. This is where I was about to say, and then going to be settling for this down here. What? Why?
No. I'm just open to the possibility of radical love with whoever walks into my life.
Of being valued in the way I know I value myself.
Know that. The way I value me. And that had to change first, y'all. I had to value me in the way that I wanted him to come and value me. Listen, we go into a whole other but we gonna talk about it when we get to confidence.
Yeah, that's important. I mean that makes
out.
a difference in the jobs that you take, how you show up at work.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna take that. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, that doesn't sound like that.
Yeah. But
I'm above that paved grade. Listen. No. That doesn't sound like something.
But if you open yourself to the possibility of being honored, of being loved, of being supported, of being comforted, walk around and act like a person who is loved
instead of a person who's wounded.
Even if you are wounded, we're not saying ignore the fact
that fake it till you make it. You don't have to look like what. In fact,
it's not one or the other.
Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. Oh, thank God.
If we look like what we've been through, we'd be in graves.
I'd be haggard.
You know what I mean?
I would walk in here like a crone.
Yes.
My limbs, my joints would be.
Yeah. It'd be like a scary movie witch.
Blair Witch Project up in here.
You have to walk around and know and act like a person who is loved, who deserves it.
Yeah.
Right? But that means, I'm saying, again, we're not just talking about mindset. We're talking about how you present. Pick that head up. Lift your eyes. This ain't slavery. Get up. I meant that. That's fine. I meant that. There's a reason why that was insisted. Why people lost their lives for not lowering that. That was a whole insidious. You know what I'm saying? Let's get out of that. Lift your head. Stop lowering your
What did Tupac
eyes.
say? Lift your head
shoulders back.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
Keep your head up.
Ooh, child, things will be brighter. Listen. It just comes to us. That's real good.
But it's real. Seriously, walk outside. You know what I'm saying? Like a person, I should be loved.
Yeah.
I should be loved.
That's good.
And I'm going to do it to myself. I'm going to emanate it out. I'm going to expect it. I'm not going to expect to be wounded by you. Why would I expect that? And then if it happens, I know to close this chapter and go on here.
That's good.
I'm not going to walk, this is probably going to happen to me. No.
So listen, we said all this to really talk about, we're talking about mindset and attitude. Listen, if you want a new one, you follow what we talked about today. I'm feeling good from my head to my shoes. Know where I'm going and I know what to do. Point of view. I got a new attitude. That's what you announcing to people now.
I have a new one. And people will know. I mean,
they'll see it on you.
When you wear it, you're going to look a little bit different.
Yes.
No problem.
Yes.
You seem different. Am.
That's correct.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah. This is where I am.
Yeah.
This is who I am now. Yeah. All right. Well,
Amen.
good. We're wrapping things up.
All right. What's in the
let's-
joy journal? What's in the joy journal? What's in the joy journal? What's in the joy journal?
So I'm going to let you read this one because this is your baby.
Yes, Mia
And,
Edwards. She was my student actually at Clark Atlanta, and then went to graduate school also at Clark Atlanta, and now she works full time as a therapist in my office. She is a child whisperer. When I tell you the kids come in there off the chain and come out on the chain, I don't know what she's doing in there. She takes them tiny and when I say off the chain sometimes. All right. But she was blessed with a little person who was not one of her little clients for once. She wrote, today, my baby sister gave me the greatest gift a sister can receive, the pleasure of becoming an auntie. Congratulations to Mia and her sister. To be able to witness such a beautiful process filled my entire body with joy and all sorts of other emotions. I smiled from ear to ear the entire time, then jumped up and down with excitement when baby girl entered the world. That is the joy I haven't experienced since the loss of our mother in 2020. They lost their mother rather suddenly in 2020. And my niece will continue to be my joy. I am absolutely in love. She will continue to be a reason I will keep pushing and going. And one reason I won't give up, even when I may feel exhausted. That's really good right there. Mm-hmm. They say when a new life enters the world, it tends to fill those empty spaces and tends to bring a new type of joy after a loss. And their family really, needed one. I am absolutely feeling that and feel like a new person. I have not only found joy, but my peace and happiness. Thank you so much for your podcast and all of the wisdom and knowledge that you two have been providing. It has been such a big help in my life and a great experience to watch two Black women not only teach us about how to work toward obtaining joy in our lives, but also witnessing what it looks like from you two every episode. It is everything.
Aww. Thank you, Mia, for that. I read that yesterday and I was like, oh, we're doing it. This is a thing. This is a joy revolution.
It is a revolution.
And we are excited about you all being a part of it. So thank you for joining us in our season of Attitude and Mindset.
I know. I'm excited about next week. I know we don't usually do like a little teaser. But I'm really excited about next week. I really want people to turn into next week because I think what people are like, well, but what if this happens?
Right,
We're about literally next week, we're going to be like, okay, here's what you do. Okay, but what about, that sounds good now, but what if I lose my job? Mm-hmm. That sounds good now, but what if I have a bad breakup? That sounds good now. What do I do if somebody just dies? We're going to talk like exactly about that. Yep. No, not esoterically. We're going to talk exactly. Here's what we can do.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes. So get ready.
So watch next week then.
Yes. Thank you all for joining us. And we will see you later.
Au revoir. So long, farewell.
Adieu, adieu to you and you and you. That's it.
Lederhosen. We love to hear your stories about joy and how the podcast and joy movement are meaningful to you. Please submit to the Joy Journal at info@thejoyrxwebsite.com.
And please follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at The Joy RX, and on Twitter and YouTube at The Real Joy RX.
If you love what you hear and see on this podcast, love us, and love joy, please rate, like, subscribe, follow, and share.
And if you want to get some fancy joy merch, letting everyone know you are part of the Joy RX movement, go to shopjoyrx.com.
Thank you for joining us.